The story of the dollar: rise, power, and struggles. The story of the dollar begins in 1792, when the United States Congress passed the Coinage Act. This act established the U.S. dollar as the official currency, modeled after the Spanish silver dollar that circulated widely across the Americas. In those early years, the dollar was backed by gold and silver, giving it trust and stability. By the 19th century, America was expanding rapidly. The dollar moved with it, funding trade, industry, and the country's growing influence. It wasn't yet the world's currency, but its foundations were being built. The real turning point came after World War II. In 1944, world leaders gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. The result was the Bretton Woods Agreement, which pegged global currencies to the U.S. dollar, and the dollar itself to gold. This made the U.S. dollar the anchor of the world economy. Personalities like U.S. Treasury Secretary Henry Morgenthau and British economist John Maynard Keynes shaped the debate. But ultimately, the American economy's strength made the dollar king. For decades, the dollar was unchallenged. It became the currency of oil, trade, and global finance. Nations held dollars in their reserves. International loans were made in dollars. Wall Street became the heart of global capital. But challenges soon followed. In the 1960s, U.S. spending on the Vietnam War and domestic programs stretched its finances. Foreign governments began to question whether America could truly back every dollar with gold. By 1971, President Richard Nixon shocked the world by ending the dollar's link to gold. The Nixon shock transformed the dollar into a fiat currency, backed not by metal but by the strength of the U.S. economy and the trust of global markets. The dollar faced turbulence in the 1970s with high inflation and oil crises, but it survived. In fact, the crisis led to a new system where oil exports, especially from OPEC countries, were priced in U.S. dollars. This petrodollar system reinforced America's financial dominance. Through the 1980s and 1990s, under leaders like Paul Volcker at the Federal Reserve and later Alan Greenspan, the dollar weathered storms, tamed inflation, and remained the centerpiece of global finance. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 only cemented U.S. and dollar supremacy. Yet the dollar has not been free of struggles. The 2008 financial crisis shook faith in American markets, raising fears about the future of the dollar's dominance. Still, when panic spread, investors worldwide rushed into the dollar, proving its resilience as the world's safe haven currency. Today, the dollar continues to dominate, accounting for nearly 60% of global foreign exchange reserves. But challenges remain: the rise of China's yuan, digital currencies, and debates over America's debt. From the Coinage Act of 1792 through Bretton Woods in 1944, Nixon's 1971 decision, the oil shocks of the 1970s, and the crises of 2008, the dollar's story has been one of resilience. It is more than a currency. It is a symbol of American power, trust, and influence. The dollar began as just another coin. But over centuries, through wars, crises, and leadership, it became the backbone of the global financial system. Its future may be uncertain, but its legacy is undeniable.